Let's talk polynomial basics. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the degree of the following monomials. First thing with a monomial, that is a number or a variable or a number and a variable multiplied together. So these are all examples of monomials. So if I want to find the degree of a monomial, what we're focusing on is we're going to focus on the variables. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the sum of the exponents of the variables. So we're going to add up all the exponents on the variables, and that is the degree. So this first problem, I have 3x squared. So notice we don't care about the 3 because that's a number. We care about the variable x. X has an exponent of 2, so the degree of this would just be 2. In my next example, I have negative 4x to the fourth, y to the fifth. There's two variables there. I have an x to the fourth, so I have a 4 from there, and y to the fifth, I have a 5 from there. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the sum of the exponents, which means 4 plus 5, the degree of that is actually 9. And then finally, I have negative 13. What we should notice is there's no variables there. So if there's no variables, the degree is 0. There's no x to the first, x squared, none of that, so the degree is 0. So that kind of sets us up for our next problem here, and the bigger idea behind polynomials. So we're going to write the polynomial in standard form. We're going to find the degree and find the leading coefficient. So if we want standard form, what you need to do is go from highest degree to low. We're going to go from the highest degree to the lowest degree. So let's start with that in this first example. I have 3x to the third minus 4x to the fourth plus 5x. So the degree on this first monomial here, 3x to the third, that is a degree of 3. Minus 4x to the fourth, the degree there is going to be 4. And 5x, that's like x to the first power, so the degree there is 1. Now before I do this, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit. What a polynomial is it's either one monomial, so one of these terms, or the sum of several monomials. So this is a monomial, that's a monomial, that's a monomial. When you add them all up, that makes a polynomial. So back to where I want to write it in standard form, I need to go from the highest degree to the lowest degree. So this term here, the negative 4x to the fourth, that's going to come first, negative 4x to the fourth. Notice that subtraction sign or negative sign, that comes with it. So be very careful with that. After the degree of 4, if I'm going from high to low, next would be 3, so I should have 3x to the third. That is a positive 3x to the third, so we're going to have plus 3x to the third, which leaves my lowest degree, which is degree 1, for the back, 5x to the first. You don't need to write that exponent of 1. Typically it's written without it, but I'm doing that just to show degree there. The next thing I want to do is I want to find the degree. And the degree, all it is of the polynomial is the highest degree monomial. So this was degree 4, degree 3, degree 1. So the degree of the entire polynomial is the degree of the highest term, which is this. So the degree here is, x to the fourth, so it is 4. And then finally, the last thing I want to focus on is finding the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is the number in front of my polynomial. It's the number in front of my polynomial. So number in front, negative 4. So the leading coefficient, I'm going to use LC there, is just negative 4. So go through another one of those examples really quick. I have 7a squared minus a to the fifth minus 4. So the degree here is 2. Minus a to the fifth, degree there is 5. And just a plain old 4, that degree is 0. So putting in standard form, I'm going to start with the 5, then go to the 2, then go to the 0. So I'm going to have, remember, keep the sign with it, negative a to the fifth. This is a positive 7a squared. And then finally I have a minus 4. If I want the degree there, that's the highest degree monomial. So I'm going to look at this first monomial here, negative a to the fifth. So the degree of this is 5. And then finally, I'm going to wrap it up with the leading coefficient. Doesn't look like there's a number there. That's because this is one of those cases where, whenever you see just a plain old x, it's like 1x. So I have a negative there. It's really just a negative. If I write that one, negative 1 is the leading coefficient. And that was some polynomial basics.